Hi there, I'm Nick, and this is a Kaki, or a black stilt. I'm in Twizel in New Zealand's South Island, where these guys live, and I'm helping the Kaki team try to turn some of these into a few of these. Not many people get to see inside a captive rearing facility, and I wondered if you'd like to spend the day as an aviculturist. Morning folks, it's 8 AM and it's time for me to start work. I'm the first in this morning, but the others will be along soon. There's 3 avics on the Kaki team, and on any day at least 2 of those will be working. Let's go in and meet the team. This is Liz, the head aviculturist and chick mum. Will is also a full-time chick rearer, and Chloe works the summer season when things at the centre are busiest. The first job is to get yourself some shoes. To reduce the risk of disease spreading throughout the facility, there are shoes for every room and wellies for outside use. Hand washing is equally important and should be done between rooms or when moving from one group of birds to another. The young birds need feeding 3 times a day and the older ones twice each day, so there's a continual production line of food preparation going on. This is today's menu. As usual, everyone is getting minced ox heart. The older birds have theirs mixed with crushed soaked cat biscuits. The youngsters have theirs mixed with wombaroo, a commercial mix for rearing insectivores. They get a little seasoning too, in the form of salt and calcium. Some of them are so small they need it sieved. While someone makes a start with the food, one of the team will check the incubator room. The eggs are kept in incubators to keep them at a constant temperature and humidity. Each machine is checked to make sure it's working okay, and the eggs that are close to hatching are candled to look for signs of movement, internal pipping, and cracks on the shell that indicate the chick is starting to make its way out. Then it can be moved to a hatcher. These also keep a constant environment, and need to be checked every morning and afternoon when we can see whether any chicks have hatched. Even at this young age, that long leg is obvious. The chick will be removed from the hatcher to be weighed and processed. It's given a single colouring so that we can identify it in the brooder. And it's medicated to make sure that the yolk sac is fully absorbed. The chick's given a few moments to find its feet, and then it's off to the brooder. In the wild, a chick would be brooded by one of the adults for the first few days, so we provide a dummy adult to do the same. If there are any sick chicks, they will be put in the isolation unit. It's really important not to contaminate the rest of the facility with whatever sickness they have, so biosecurity measures here are even stricter. These birds get medicated twice daily and will be closely monitored. The older birds and captive adults are housed outside in large aviaries. These guys are fed twice daily. Some of the adults here have been paired up and are breeding. They have their eggs removed for hand rearing, but in some cases where the adults have proved themselves worthy parents, they're given live eggs or chicks to rear. While someone's feeding the outdoor aviaries, someone else will prepare the runs. These are connected to the brooders so the younger birds can get used to being outside before being moved to the aviaries. As always, hygiene is paramount. When the outdoor runs are ready, work can start in the brooder room. Each brooder contains up to 7 birds to mimic the size of a family group in the wild. Each chick is weighed in the morning to ensure it's developing normally. The larger ones then get access to the outdoor runs whilst we clean the brooders. The younger ones go into a holding brooder instead, and we clean each brooder with hot water and disinfectant. The chicks make a lot of mess that needs to be cleaned up every day. After feeding in the aviaries is finished, it's already time to make up food for lunch and for the afternoon. Plus, by this point, there's a big pile of dirty dishes to be cleaned. Aside from the dishes, all of the mats from the brooders need cleaning. This means we get to play with the jet wash, hosing them down to blast all the poo off them. Then they get to soak in detergent for a while, giving us time to go back into the brooder room. The brooders are now all dry, and we can put paper and clean mats in, check the temperature, and get them ready for chicks to come back in. The young chicks will go back in straight away, and the hatch will be open so that any chicks outside can return if they want. Then the holding brooders need to be cleaned. While that's going on, lunch is prepared and served, and the mats will be rinsed and hung out to dry. And that's all the morning stuff done. It's the same every day and the team have it down to a fine art. Having spent half the day preparing food for the birds, it's about time to grab a bite ourselves. After lunch we get an hour or two to do some of the jobs that don't need doing daily. This could include collecting invertebrates from the local wetland to feed the chicks. Fecal samples need collecting and sending for analysis, and from time to time the aviaries need weeding. Some birds require extra care, like this one being given a splint to help its toes develop properly. When the chicks are old enough, they all get a full set of colour rings. These are glued together with an adhesive, and feather samples are taken. Each chick gets a quick dip and one last check of the rings to make sure they're not stuck to its leg. They can then be moved from the runs to the aviaries. From time to time, a batch of chicks are moved to another captive rearing centre. Catching them is the first challenge, and they don't stop calling for the entire journey. Hopefully they'll settle quickly in their new home and go on to breed in captivity. Sick birds that have responded well to treatment can be returned to the runs. Before we finish for the day, there's one more meal to serve to everyone, so we make up another set of trays with enough food to last the birds through the night. While feeding the outdoor aviaries, we do a final head count to make sure all the birds are still there. And maybe spend a few moments just watching their behaviour. Some of the birds will be shut away overnight, so their food goes back into the brooders. Any birds that are staying out overnight will get their run clean and food provided for them. The eggs in the incubation room will be checked again, and any sick birds in the isolation unit will be medicated. There's just time to take the mats in, and wash and clean all the dishes again, ready for the morning. And that's it for the day. Everyone survived and they're all growing well. And tomorrow we get to start all over again. See you then.